Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the NXT recap brought to you by the SmackDown podcast. I am your host, Katie Bay. This is my second time doing this because technology hates me. That's all I'm going to say. As you can see, I'm going solo. Things come up. Things happen. Totally fine. It's not my first rodeo. I kind of know what I'm doing at this point now. I'm not going to say I'm the best. Other people will say I'm the best, but that's not my job to. I let my work speak for itself. I'm a professional. Somehow. I don't know how, but we at SmackDown Pod are a wrestling recap show. You can find us live on twitch.tv/puttingyouover every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the Raw, NXT, Dynamite, and SmackDown recaps. If, again, technology likes me. If you miss a live stream or live streams don't happen, head on over to youtube.com/SmackDroppPodcast. You can find the video form there. You can like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. If you are the type of person who likes to listen to your podcasts, we are on almost every audio podcast platform you can think of. Jesus. Or if you'd like to support us another way, head on over to WrestlingNewsWorld.com. We have the honor of being the exclusive recap for those guys. They're fantastic people over there. Consume your wrestling media through them. Articles, premium content. Go bookmark the page. Give them a listen. Give them a watch. Go read. Reading's never a bad thing. Go read. And if you guys want to support us, head on over to patreon.com/SmackDroppPodcast. You can get stickers, your video, unpopular wrestling opinion that'll be featured on the next UWO. We'll tell you if your opinion's good or if it's trash. You can get a shirt if Kyle likes you enough. Or we'll promote your stuff for a month, whether that be your Twitch channel, your YouTube, your podcast, anything. We will 100% support you and promote your stuff for the month if you do the $25 tier. And supporting us on Patreon helps the quality of the show as my light decides to brighten up. At my LED lights, my new boom is from the Patreon. So thanks to you guys, we can improve the quality of our show. So we appreciate anything you guys do for us. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm done shilling. Enough business stuff. Let's talk about NXT. That's why you're all here. We started off with the Falls Count Anywhere match between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. Pretty solid start to NXT, honestly. I mean, they went to the locker room. They were going all over the arena. A toolbox, a full toolbox, was thrown at Leon Ruff's head. That's like something out of a movie. You throw something at someone and they like move out of the way at the right time. Exactly what happened. This match was mainly based off of emotion. Both men, saying that they're better than the other one. There's a lot of anger in this match. A lot of back and forth too. It was a very good match. And towards the end, Ruff has the upper hand, but someone comes out. We find out that's AJ Francis. He catches Ruff as Ruff was about to dive off the stage, and that allows Swerve to hit the JML for the win. But we see Swerve with a new stable. He's the leader of this heel stable. I'm not mad at it. I think all of the stables in NXT right now are heel. You have The Way. You have Legado, if you can count them. Swerves. And Imperium. Are there any that I'm missing? If I'm missing any, let me know in the comments down below. or just at me, at Katie Raslin on Twitter, to be like, yeah, you missed this, 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 and that. There you go. If you're watching, my at is right there. And now it's gone. But yeah, it was a very good start. I'm not sure where this is going to lead with Swerve and Ruff, but hopefully their feud's done, and Swerve can maybe go after the NA title. And with this new stable, it could be a heel versus heel thing. I don't know. They might do that, they might not. I'm not going to hold my breath on it, because they don't really like doing heel versus heel. WWE in general doesn't, so we'll see. Following that, we got Cameron Grimes taking on Asher Hale. This was a squash match. I mean, this was one of many, whether they were glorified or straight up. There's a lot of squash matches on NXT. This was the first. This was like a straight up squash, though. Asher Hale gets like the smallest bit of offense, and that allows Cameron Grimes to hit the cave-in for the win, which isn't a surprise. And the main story here isn't with Cameron Grimes' in-ring work, but his stuff outside of the ring. You know, he's like the technical savage. I think that's the nickname they gave him. I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to trust myself. Everrise now wants Cameron Grimes to join them, which of all teams, Everrise? I don't know. I wouldn't, but I mean, Cameron Grimes also told them that he's just going to focus on himself. Which, I mean, I get. And then we see him go to a local VIP lounge, I think is what they called it. And he finds out that Ted DiBiase bought the whole place. Which, I like this little feud that he has with Ted DiBiase. And I'm very curious to see how far it'll go. Because what else could you really have them do? I mean, there's probably a long list of other stuff they could do. But I don't know. I just like the dynamic between the two of them. I think it goes really well together. Sorry, I hate being on my phone while doing a recording. Next we got Tommaso Ciampa and Toothless Timothy Thatcher, taking on Grizzled Young Veterans. I liked this match. These four men are fantastic in the ring. Their chemistry's great. There was a theme again from last week with the shoes. Like, take your shoes off if you hate Zach Gibson, I believe was the chant. And once Ciampa gets sent over the announce table towards the end, he takes Wade Barrett's shoe and then distracts the ref, allows Thatcher to hit Gibson with the shoe, and then apply the Fujiwara armbar for the win. I mean, you could say that Thatcher and Ciampa are heels because they used a foreign object and they cheated. But I don't think that's the case here. I think it's just them toying with Grizzled Young Vets. But I still want to see Thatcher with Imperium. After RN and I have talked about it so much, I want him to be the leader of Imperium. Because Walter's, checking in on Zoom and still in the UK. I guess he went back. If Imperium wants to be a threat, they need Thatcher. And also I like RN's idea from last week. He wants Dane and Drake to join as well. Which, imagine all of them in Imperium. It'd be iconic. Then we got... okay. Now we have a cluster of things that happen. So, Gargano and Austin Theory interrupt a meeting that Regal is having with Scarlett. Johnny's there to basically complain about having to defend his title against Bronson Reed. And our poor naive boy Austin Theory is caught checking out Scarlett's boobs. As one does. He's not the first. I believe it was Oni Lorcan a while ago. So I guess the people just really like Scarlett's boobs. You know, that seems to be the theme here. But that costs Theory because now he's to face Karrion Kross next week. But Karrion Kross and Scarlett go to the ring, talking about how he's ready to take on all challengers. That's when Kyle O'Reilly, looking like a teen from the 90s, which I'm not mad at, because, like, that's an aesthetic, it's a look. I love Kyle's theme, I guess, now. Hate his theme music, but love his style. And Pete Dunne, they both come out and make their case. A returning Finn Balor says, well, I should be next. And then he drops the mic, hits Karrion Kross. A brawl ensues, as they typically do in these situations. Karrion Kross takes out everybody. He drops them all. He even takes out a security guard. And then Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory attack Karrion Kross, hit him with some super kicks, and then they run away. So do you like that Johnny's getting involved in the world title picture while being the NA champ? Do you think they're going to do another double champ? Let me know what you think down below. And then after that, we got another Diamond Mine vignette, which I completely forgot to mention last week. I don't know how. But a lot of people are speculating that this is Tessa Blanchard. That's the main theory I'm hearing about it. There's no one else I could really think of who it would be. We all know that she's a free agent. Almost forgot the word. So she could very well go to WWE. But do we want to see her in WWE? Personally, I don't. She's a very problematic person. In and out of the ring. The women's division is strong. Like, one of the strongest divisions in the world right now. In NXT. And I don't think they need Tessa. I mean, Frankie Monet, Raquel, Mercedes, Dakota, Ember, Shotzi, Candice, Indy, Saray, Zoe, Tony. There's so many good names. Fantastic names, fantastic stars in WWE right now. In NXT, more specifically. So I don't think they necessarily need Tessa. And if it's not Tessa, I will be shocked. Because there's literally no one else people are even speculating in any way, shape, or form. I don't know. I've said my piece about Tessa. Not a fan. So I guess we'll see. When do you think this person will show up? My guess would be the next takeover. Which I don't even know when that is. Maybe SummerSlam? Around that time? But I feel like that's too far away. Maybe they'll have another one next month. I honestly have no idea how they do their takeovers anymore. I don't know. But speaking of the women's division, I didn't even notice this. We got Saray taking on Zeta Ramir, two rising stars in NXT. As we talked about last week, Ramir got a shock victory over Toni Storm. This was the other squash match, but it wasn't a squash match, kind of, if you understand what I'm saying. We knew that, I mean, there was a very strong chance that Saray was going to win because she was the one who was promoted for weeks. The Warrior of the Sun, I believe, is her name, her nickname. Like, she was mentioned, and we saw video promos for her for weeks up into her signing. So they're not going to have her lose her second match. But they did show that there is a rising star in Zeta, which I like. Again, more women showing their worth, showing their talent in NXT. And like I said, Saray wins, and they try and show respect for each other, being two baby faces. And Toni Storm tries to come out and break it up, and Zoe Stark stops her. So we still have this feud between Stark and Toni, which I'm not mad at. They're two fantastic women in the ring. But this also just has, Toni Storm kind of just not being okay with anyone beating her and trying to interrupt respect. Very heel tactics. Toni Storm's a fantastic heel, so it's nothing too surprising. But like I said, I love the NXT Women's Division. I've been very adamant and high on it for a while. And then following that, excuse me, we got LA Knight taking on Jake Atlas, the third squash match, the second in a row. Atlas gets some offense, but LA Knight wins with a cutter. It's the same thing with LA Knight. He talks trash, gets his ass beat a little bit, and ends up pulling out the victory. I'm not a fan of the character. His in-ring work is good. I'm just not a fan. I don't know. I saw a lot of people comparing him to EC3 when he was in NXT. That kind of run. But again, I'm just not a fan. So, I don't know. After that, we got to see Legado de Fantasma in the ring. They're all making it very clear that they want the tag titles and the cruiserweight title because they beat MSK and Kushida last week in the main event. It was the main event, yes. And Kushida comes out and basically tells Escobar when their title match is. It's going to be next week. And it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match, which I'm very excited for because I feel like there's not a lot of those. And they can be very entertaining. The last one was Johnny and Johnny and Adam Cole. Jesus. At whatever takeover, I'm awful. I think it was New York. Tell me how bad I am at remembering takeovers in the comments, please, because I am bad. There's been too many. So I'm excited to see, and it's going to be on TV, so I'm curious how it'll go. I have a feeling it's going to be great. And Escobar and Kushida are fantastic. They have good chemistry. I just know that Legado is going to get involved, which means MSK might get involved. So there'll be a lot of players in the game. We'll see how it plays out. And then we got some rushed segments. So we got an interview with Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, and Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes calls Raquel a cookie cutter. Basically, you're molded after the blueprint of me. And Gonzalez is just like, well, you failed, and you kind of set the bar low. And we find out that they're going to have their title match. I believe it's the title match next week. This isn't going to be their only standoff. I have a feeling Kai might get involved. Or, if anything, Gonzalez is not losing the title yet. No way. At least, I don't think. I would hope not, because this will be her first defense. And they haven't done much with her as champ yet. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. And now we're on to the main event. Again, this was rushed. There was a lot happening. It was like spot after spot. This being the street fight for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. So we had Ember and Shotzi, the champs, taking on The Way, Candice and Indy. Before the match, we see Dexter Lumis standing at the door with like roses, and Indy's back is to the door, and Candice kind of like closes the blinds. She wants Indy focused on the match, not on Lumis. respectful, like, I respectfully understand, but, like, let Index be a thing, please. Just let it happen. And we find out that Frankie Monet's dog shits in Shotzi's tank. What? Like, what is going... Why is Frankie Monet just, like, in everyone's business? What is her goal? What is she doing? I don't know. But that means they can't take the tank to the ring. There's so much that happens in this match. A lot of just, again, spot after spot. Not a lot of filler in between. Jesus. What was I gonna say? Oh, Indy. Sorry, was in a trash can. Fire extinguisher was used. A lot of spots through tape. Shotzi was like the daredevil of the match. Hits a senton onto Candice through a ladder. A splash off of the steel support beam through Indy through the announce table. I mean, she took a beating. But the ending of the match, we see after Indy goes to the announce table, she regroups, and she ends up hitting a diving elbow through Ember Moon through a table on the outside. Candice uses brass knucks, which people are saying that Johnny stole from Regal's office. That's the thing online. If it's true, I wouldn't be surprised, but I like that people are saying that. It's a nice touch. And she hits the Wicked Stepsister on the chair on Shotzi. And we have new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And after 4 years of being in NXT, Candice LeRae is finally a champion. And all is right with the world. I have loved Candice since PWG. She is one hell of a competitor, one hell of a star, and I love that she finally gets the chance to show that she is a star and she is a champion. And she's with Indy, and I like the relationship with her and Indy. They Johnny and Candice kind of took Indy and Austin under their wing. And again, she was jobbing out last year. And now here she is, NXT Women's Tag Team Champion with Candice LeRae. It just warms my heart. I don't know. But yeah, that was probably the fastest recap I've ever done in my entire life. I might have missed some stuff. Tell me if I did. I think there was a moment between Casey and Caden and Frankie Monet. But I think other than that, I got everything. Let me know if you... let me know your thoughts about NXT, or... again, if I missed anything. You can catch the Dynamite recap, possibly live. Who will be hosting, I do not know. Things are getting mixed up, apparently. So I need to go figure that out. But regardless, somebody will be recapping AEW Blood and Guts. It's going to be a good show. If you watch AEW, make sure to check out the recap. If not, I completely understand. I respect if you only watch WWE. I respect it. But thank you guys so much for watching my recap of NXT. I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.